Here's a stock that is Regal Beloit, and this one has really took a big move to the downside here, and this is our stock in focus. We saw a 15-point move to the downside, almost 20%, and a lot of times it's difficult to figure out what's going on here and to really say, well, why did this go down? I always think that that's a great, always a great example in my opinion. You can always say, well, why is something going up? Everybody can say, well, it's, higher bottoms and all that. But what do you got to watch for, I think, is always more important to me, because, it's sometimes, you could just be oblivious and have something continue to go up, but it really takes somebody to be very proactive to make sure they don't get stuck in something that drops very dramatically. Here's a perfect example, though. When you start to see this chart, you go to the weekly here. It really shows the stability of this initial issue when it starts to break in here. So what you would say is, well, it still looked very firm and it looked very bullish here. So I'm a little perplexed on why that happened here. But when you break it down, and we showed this example yesterday, we could show another example of it. Here we're going to look at a measured move here, and we could see that, hey, right from the low, we see the first initial move after this corrective move, okay? So we see that first move, and then we see it retrace that. You could see it retracing it perfect in the square of the move. And then you see a next move, which is almost very similar to the half move here. And then you see it fractionalize again, probably a little bit shorter than that, a quarter of the move. You could see that quarter box right there. This is why they do that. And a lot of times you'll see these fractionalize, and why Gann like doing that. But here you could see is if you just extend this, okay, and we're not going to go to that incidental move, we go right from the low, you'd say, okay, well, this would be the next box in the movement because we're measuring the move from the low to the low. So you could see this is where it was pretty close. If we just drew, we draw the trend line right off of that horizontal trend line, very, very close to the move. Now you would know when you start to see this get very vertical that you're starting to lose some momentum now. But here, look at the clear point. Now you're just doing this simple technique, and then you look at this bar. You see the bar, it tries to rally but can't rally, and it drops right to the low here. And then you see this is like a long tail that you have in the candle, and that's telling you a failed rally and a failed point.